How's it, everybody in South Africa? What's going on? I hope everybody is doing a-okay. I hope everybody is healthy and safe at home, keeping away from everybody else. You know, this COVID-19 is not a joke, and I hope everybody is just doing well, man. I just trust that we're going to get out of this if we just follow the rules, stay at home, and adhere to all the rules and regulations that are put forth by the government. Let's listen to Cyril, guys. Cyril is doing good stuff. My name is Tawanda, by the way, for those of you that don't know me. Probably most of you don't know me, and this is Quarantine Content. This is the Quarantine Content podcast, episode 3. I've released one. I've shot another one after that. This is the third one, but then I had to delete the first one because it just wasn't professional. Not professional, but it was too casual. You know, I was too wacky, and I was just speaking not all the inappropriate things, but it just wasn't a way that I wanted to brand myself as a marketer. And this is a marketing podcast, digital marketing to be precise. I'm going to be talking about digital marketing and things that I've learned and things that I know. And I just want to, I just want to talk to the camera and talk to you in turn about things that I've learned in digital marketing, what's working for me, things that I'm putting into play. And before I start, I just want to say thank you to the guys that saw my first video and was like, yo, get it out of here. It's not cool. It's bad. Not bad, but it just had its flaws in different contexts. Okay, cool. So what are we talking about today? Digital marketing. And yeah, I just want to stress one thing. Stay at home, guys. Stay at home. I'm at home right now. I just came back from work. I know, but I live right across work. So I'm still at home, even though I go to work. So stay at home. Don't be around people. Let's try and work together. All right, cool. That's out of the way now. Let's talk digital marketing. What I want to talk about is a very simple concept of actually getting your Facebook adverts to work. I like the moment I'm still not specializing. I call myself a digital marketing practitioner. I don't like using the word expert because I'm a practitioner. I'm not an expert. The word expert is especially when you call yourself an expert, it's not right. You need to have other people. You need to be credible to be an expert. So at the moment, I'm calling myself a practitioner. I've been in the industry for the past 3 years doing it. And yeah, let's make it happen, man. Let's do this podcast. I think this is the official first episode. Okay. And yeah, if you are in digital marketing, if you're a social media person, if you are a small business owner, if you're a small entrepreneur, or if you're just an entrepreneur and you want to do it yourself, or you are an agency, or you are just a marketing person, this is going to be helpful, man. So what I want to talk about is a very basic and like a very practical concept of how to actually get your ads to work. And I learned this through Gary Vee. I love Gary Vee. I watch Gary Vee almost every day. I try not to watch only him. I watch more than, I get my sources of inspiration and information about digital marketing and just business and motivation and inspiration from different sources. So I look up to Conor McGregor, Vusi Tembewayo, Gary Vee, and a host of other people. But Gary Vee is, to be honest, I wouldn't have started this business without him. I wouldn't have started Vinga Media without him. So here is this concept. Gary Vee talks about adding value. Add value to your prospect before you ask, or before you try to close the sale. You know, add value as much as you can before you actually ask for the prospect to buy your product. You know what I mean? That way, you're kind of guilting them into actually buying your product. You know, because people feel the reason he says that, he doesn't say this in his videos, but it's basically because you need to build familiarity and build trust, and you need to make people feel like they know you. You know what I mean? That's basically what you got to do. Hence familiarity and trust and all of that. Basically, that's what he's saying, but he doesn't say it in his videos. I've said this before in another video prior to this one. Some of you might know it, but basically that's what he says. Build trust and familiarity amongst your prospect before you actually try and have them buy your product, before you try to close the sale. You know, you can't walk up to a girl and say, hey mama, how you doing, let's go back to my place. You know what I'm saying? You got what you have to do, you have to talk with them and warm them up a little bit before, and then ask for a number, and then go back again. You know what I'm saying? And then go for a third and fourth date before you can take it to third base, second base, first base. Basically, that's what it is. So that's exactly how you do it with your prospects, with your clients. What you want to do is you want to build familiarity and trust, add value to them. Once they feel like they know you, once they feel like they safe around you or with your brand, then they feel like, you know what, this is a brand I want to associate myself with. I know these guys, you know. So how can you add trust and how can you build familiarity and make people feel comfortable with buying your product? Basically, all you have to do is add value through educational content, through you can even do giveaways, you know, do giveaways, do educational content. It's basically a brand building exercise first before you you go for the sale. You have to just do some how-to videos. How-to videos are working very well. How-to videos and talk about the benefits of your product, but not in a way where you're selling them. You know, teach them, like basically, let's say if I was selling mugs, teach them how to make a mug. You know what I mean? Teach people how to make their own mugs. That's how you're adding value to those people. Teach them how to clean their mugs, how to paint their mugs. If they can buy a mug that's plain, and just how to paint their name and stuff like that. You need to add value to people. Teach them more about your product. Tell them things they can do for themselves to you know, to just like improve their themselves or whatever, you know, things that help them. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. So that's it, you know. Give them some information, teach them stuff, teach them about the concept of your like I said, teach them stuff that's going to be how to make the product themselves. That's what you want to do, and just add value. You know, a lot of we passed the age of the time when things were secret, you know, where companies would keep secrets from us on how to actually, like, the internet has changed the way we do things and the way we market. People are smart, and advertising should be smart as well. You know what I'm saying? That's it right there. And you need to understand that with social media is not like TV. Okay? Social media is not like TV, where people didn't have a choice and the power of actually changing channels or consuming that content that is in front of them. People now have a choice to consume whatever they want, whenever they want. So you need to make it worthwhile. You know, you need to make it worthwhile, or make it worth their while to consume your content. You know what I mean? If you're going to be putting something in front of the people on their screens, add value. Make it important. Make it something that they feel like they're not wasting their time on. Because another thing is that when you're trying to sell too much and you're coming on too hard, people can just switch off. They're like, it takes 3 seconds, first of all, 3 seconds for a person to scroll. You know, people scroll on Facebook at the speed of 3 seconds. So once in the first 3 seconds, if you don't capture their attention, and then in the first 10 seconds, if they feel like, no, this is bullshit, I don't want to consume this, then they keep on scrolling. So what I'm trying to say there, an important thing that I was just going to say, is that what's important when you're advertising on social media is authenticity. You need to be very authentic. You need to be very genuine and original. Okay, speak your truth as a brand. Give people real stories from real people. That's what people want to hear. On social media, we don't want to see fake stuff, and we don't want to feel as if this thing is coming from a very, very well established news company, you know. We want to feel like that. We're here to have fun, relax, and to socialize. It is a social network after all, you know, and it is real content that we're consuming there. So what you want to give people is real content. So add value as much as you can. And this is going to be working very well if you are a small business. You know, with big corporates and big companies and big brands, you know, they can get away with it. They can get away with just running one ad that can result in large amounts of revenue. So this here is for small businesses and medium businesses, people who don't have the luxury of the reputation of a huge brand where they can just run one ad and people can just recognize the name and the brand and the logo and the slogan and be like, that's my brand right there. You know what I mean? That's where I'm taking more money. So that's it, guys. It's just as simple as that. Build familiarity, build trust through educational content, yet entertaining, add value, even give away some products and adding value. You know, once you've added value and you've built trust and you've built familiarity and people feel as if they know you, then you can only come and ask for them to buy your product. Then you can run that advert that says, hey, listen, you remember those mugs I was telling you about? I've got a special here for say 25% off. Basically, you get what I'm saying. Once you've added value, you've built your credibility, then you can come and ask people to buy your product. That's basically what it is. So here's a plan right there. Here's a plan right here of what you can do is, say you give yourself a time frame of and another thing you guys need to understand is that please bear with me, it's really hot in my room over here. I've turned my room into a studio, and unfortunately I don't have air conditioning, so I might just be sweating a little bit and it might not look good on camera. So another thing I wanted to say is that it takes time, my friends. It doesn't happen overnight. These things take time. Results don't just happen overnight. It takes time. You need to put in the work and you need to put in the time, or you need to wait the period of time. You know, it's like having a baby. You know, you can't just have your lady come back from the doctor and say, baby, you know, a blessed event is going to happen. You know, and then 6 months later, the husband is like, well, where is it? You need to wait. You need to wait for these things to happen. That's why you need to give yourself time for brand building and adding value and building familiarity. I would say go as far, give yourself 3 months of just adding value and building brand and building familiarity. Give yourself 3 months of doing that. This is a strategy. And bear in mind that when you do this, the clients that you're going to get, these are going to be people that are really, really interested in your product. These are people that are interested in what you have to say as a brand and what you're selling. Okay. Once you've built your brand, during that journey of building your brand, you're building clients along the way. You know, it's not like when you just do something that's short, that's going to give you short-term results. And then you get short-term clients. Those guys just want that deal at that time. You know, this other guy is just trying to save this amount of money at that time because of what you're selling at that time. He doesn't really care about your brand. He doesn't feel like this is going to be adding value for me in the long term. He doesn't want to build a relationship with your brand and with you. That's basically what I'm saying. And this also, okay, let me just go back to the strategy on how you can actually structure it. So what you want to do now in the first 3 months of the strategy, what you can do is, and you need to know that brand building never stops. Brands never stop doing branding marketing. Okay, that's just business. You never stop doing that. So you're going to carry on doing brand building until the end of time. You keep on doing it. Even Coca-Cola is still doing it. Probably the best branders I know. Anyway, so you give yourself 3 months of brand building. Here's a strategy that you're going to give yourself 6 months of executing it. 3 months, the first 3 months, you're going to do brand building and adding value and building familiarity. Then the next 3 months, you're still adding value, but then now you can start running your adverts that are directed to that are sales driven, basically. So the first 3 months is branding, content or branding adverts, because the original core goal or objective here is to get people to buy your product. So the first 3 months is brand building, and then in fact, let's do this, right? Let's give yourself 9 months, just like a baby. First 3 months is brand building. The second 3 months is lead generation. And then the last 3 months is where you're now closing your sales. We're coming with that right hook. That's what Gary Vee says. Jab, jab, right hook. Right? That's what Gary Vee says. I know we all know Gary Vee. So I remember I used to get really, really pumped by Gary Vee. And I used to want to tell all my friends about Gary Vee. Everybody I knew had to know Gary Vee. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure if you know Gary Vee, he's got that effect on you. And you also want to just have everybody knowing about Gary Vee. Anyway, yeah, so that's what Gary Vee says. He says jab, jab, right hook. Jab, jab being giving value. You know, you don't just come with a right hook. You got to jab, 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 jab. You know, I think that's why I like Conor McGregor and Gary Vee and Vusi, is because, you know, I like boxing as well. So when Gary Vee made that analogy, I just thought of Conor McGregor when he's just jabbing with his right arm and just hooks you with that left. He's got a powerful, mean left arm. Anyway, so first 3 months of brand building, second 3 months of lead generation, and then the last 3 months, that's when you're coming with your jab, not your jab, your hook. You're coming with your hardcore sale, and you try to close your sale then. Okay, so first 3 months, you're doing your how-to videos, you're doing your educational content, you're teaching people about your product and the benefits that it has for them, but in a very indirect way, where you're not trying to sell them. You know, you're telling them the benefits, not because you want them to buy it, just because you want to add value to them. You want it to benefit them. Okay, so that's what you're doing. You know, you're doing podcasts, even you're doing content that is just not about you. It's selfless. It's about the end consumer. So that's what you do, and then. In fact, you know what? I can actually go broader and deeper in the subject of what type of content you can actually create for brand building and to add value and building familiarity and trust. Drop a comment if you want to hear that, and I can create a video. You've got time. You've got a couple of how many more days we've got until the lockdown ends. All right. So in the second phase now of the strategy, what you want to do is you want to build your leads. I've got this written down here somewhere. Please bear with me. Okay, cool. So what you want to do when you're building your lead form and you want to get yourself and generate yourself warm leads, you want to give free trials of a product, give away free product even, and give free info. So you can put out an advert that says here's a free product, but what you have to do is you need to send us your details. Okay, now you're running a competition even, and you know that's how you're generating your lead, giving a free trial, but people need to obviously send in their details, emails, numbers, names, and all of that good stuff. So when you're generating your leads, you obviously need to have a carrot in order for the people to give you what you want. You want the emails and the numbers and all of that stuff. So your carrot can be a free product. You know, it takes money to make money. I know you might just be thinking, especially if you're a small business, that, I need to give away a free product. How many free products would I have to give away if I'm going to be getting 500 to 1,000 leads? You know, because that's the reality of the strategy. If you put it to work correctly and you just apply yourself very, very in a very committed way, you're gonna definitely be generating yourselves thousands of leads. You know, hundreds to thousands of leads if you do it very well. So the way of generating leads that I found to work very well is, again, giving away free stuff, but then now you obviously have a catch to it. You know, you're not just giving it away for free. Now there's a catch to it. So you might just give away a product, you might give away something you might run a competition whereby people have to enter their details and stuff like that. Give away a free trial, give away a free product, give away free information, and stuff like that. Give away specials, give away stuff like that, and then people need to sign up for that, and then they can only get the carrot. So it's basically that. And then in the third phase, that's when now you targeting those leads even, and people that didn't go into your lead form. But that's where you start running your adverts that are directed to generate you sales. It works very well. If you think about it, the logic, in theory, this works, and in practice, it works as well, because I've done it plenty of time. Okay, it's a very, very straightforward, simple, and it takes time. Like I said, it takes time. You need to put in the time, and if you want to get yourself proper warm, hot leads that are really interested in your product, people that want and need your product. Okay, Seth Rogen. Some of you might know Seth Rogen. If you're a marketer, you must definitely know Seth Rogen. He is a very, very, I don't know, I think he's like the godfather of marketing in the way I see him, because he basically says, when you marketing, don't market in a very in a dodgy way. People out here are marketing in dodgy ways. They don't want to add value. He goes deeper than what I'm saying. He says that when you create a new product, obviously you're going to create that product by seeing a gap in the market, by seeing a need that people need, right? That's what business people do. They solve problems. So you're going to find a problem that people have, and then you're going to solve that problem. You're doing things from the right way. You're not doing it because you're trying to make money. You're trying to solve a problem, and then you create this product for the 10 people that you saw needed, and then those people you created in a way that it fits their every need. Just these 10 people, you create the best product for these 10 people. Okay, and those 10 people are going to tell their friends, and then those friends are going to tell their friends and their friends and their friends, and so on and so on and so on. That's what Seth Rogen says. It says if you do that, it's going to grow exponentially over time, and you're going to grow yourself a humongous business. Again, word of mouth is the best marketing tool. I'm sure we've all heard that. We know that. Everybody knows that if you're marketing. Yeah. So that is the strategy, my friends. It is very simple, very, very powerful, and very straightforward. It works. I know I haven't talked about the technical, well, not the technical, but the digital things, or the digital side of things, where I'm talking about how to run ads and how to actually, where I'm having a computer and I'm walking you through everything. This is just a theory, and call it the traditional foundation, if you want to call it. I think it goes back to traditional marketing as well, So even though we are digital marketers, we need to use traditional marketing tactics and rules and all of that stuff. It's still marketing. It's still the same thing. It's just on different platforms. So I hope that added value and it resonated with you and you related with it in some way. If you're not using it, you need to use it. And I'm gonna be talking about some more things over the next couple of days of this lockdown. I'm gonna be talking about, oh shit, you serious, bro? I don't understand how the